Yes, dancers. Ladies and gentlemen, while we did ask a restriction on touching, we want you to know that the people in regalia and the singers are human beings just like you. If you have a question or want to know something or just want to give an expression of love, it's okay to talk to them. It's okay. You can approach them. They appreciate that. You know?
We'll do it after that. We'll let you speak.
Is that Mark Squilla? Mark Squilla in the house. Be sure to hydrate. Get that man some water. Thank you for all your help and making today possible. Thank you. Mark Squilla, ladies and gentlemen. City Council. For later today, we've been asked to do a duck and dive. Duck and dive. Now some of y'all know what that means, but some of y'all don't. Ladies and gentlemen, a story of the jingle dress from Jennifer Strongheart Burns. Is that right? Jennifer?
I am Cherokee and I am Seminole and I'm Cree also. One of the reasons why I love the jingle stick dance so much is it's because it's a healing dance.
Yes.
That jingle dancers do. It's a special dance. It's also a dance that has been shared from the Ojibwe tribe of North in Canada, and where I've heard it was there was a chief's daughter that was really sick, and she had trouble moving. So the chief had this dream, and after the dream was, and after he had this dream, the next morning he got up and he told the women to make this jingle dress for his daughter. And they made the dress, they blessed it, and they put it on her. The warriors carried her out because she couldn't walk, she couldn't move at all. The way I heard it, they carried her out 3 or 4 times. And the first time they carried her out, she moved a little bit. The second time they carried her out, she moved a little more. The third time they carried her out, she moved a little more because the drums just went off. there was a good beat, a good sound, and good music and good prayers. The fourth time she went out, she was walking or dancing with the people that was around her, and she was dancing by herself. Now, I happen to believe that there's some power in that story. I happen to believe that there's power in all the stories that we tell. And there's a belief when it comes to our legends and our stories. I don't know about me walking right now, but I know every time that I'm in the sacred circle, like this one, and it could be ropes around it also, that I feel a certain strength when I'm dancing. Right now I'm a traditional dancer, and usually I go out dancing in the traditional way. There are other times when I am in the circle just to watch a jingle dress dancer dance. And there's certain power in her movements, there's certain prayers in her movements that are real to me. Real to people like me. And a jingle dress dancer helps us dance when we're afraid to. The jingle dress dancer dances for us when we cannot dance for ourselves. But I've been dancing for many, many years, ever since I was a child. And I was always disabled, never been afraid of it, never will be afraid of it. I like when other disabled people get to circle with me. I like when I'm dancing with other dancers around me, whether they can dance by themselves or not. All I know is I get strength for it. And I'm able to dance for you because of it. And I dance with my brothers and sisters because they're family to me. So now that I have told you this story, maybe you will have a new appreciation for what you see. Okay, I hope. And I'm glad to be here. Enjoy the rest of the powwow.
Thank you so much. Nice. Okay.
At this time, we'd like to call all of our elders, our tribal leaders. We are going to go to the obelisk, which represents the sacred tree under which the Treaty of Shakamatsin was signed or agreed upon in 1682. We are going to ask the nations from this area to please interpret the treaty and the history that occurred as a result of the treaty to this day. 2 p.m. under the obelisk. Straight ahead.
No.
It's under the elm tree, which is where?
Straight ahead.
Oh, straight ahead that way.
Okay. The original elm tree is no longer here.
Hey, what did it fall down?
Now, I don't know about Hey, thank you. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to ask you to come to this part of the park for a special ceremony.
We are asking everybody to come over to the old elm tree over here on the easterly part of the powwow. Chief Gould, would you please make your way to the elm tree, please? Chief Gould, please make your way to the elm tree. Everybody come together and join us. As we go over this treaty, signed in 1682,
Ladies and gentlemen, as I pointed out earlier, the city of Philadelphia has a story to tell. And it took place in this location. And it's a story that I don't know of any other Eastern city that can tell this important story. And one of the goals of the committee was to declare this location a World Heritage Site for Indigenous people, because this is such an important place in the history of what happened. And not just here in America, but all over the world. And if you have your program, you'll see that even if just for a few moments, it was here that the races met as equals. One of the very rare times. And it speaks to the honor, the dignity, the civilization that is the Lenape people here in the Lenape Hokie. And we're asking you for your support to rebuild these nations, bring back this history. It's important to us as human beings, because just as in the story of Buddha, there are many things that we have still yet to learn from the first people. And we've asked Chief Gold, who is our most proximate representative of the Native people, to give a perspective, from his perspective, on the history.
didn't know that was a camera.
Godsend. Thank you.
You're welcome. I know how powwows are. I've been doing them for a long time.
It's a lot of moving parts.
Sorry.
But I'm glad to be back here to be reminded of what took place here. If many of you get a chance, if you're into history like I am, you can read about the Indian Wars of Pennsylvania. There's a lot of information in that about what happened here, about the treaty that took place. And it reminds us that this was probably the only treaty that was done between tribes that did not involve the transfer of land. Wampum belts were exchanged. And it would be a good thing today to find out where those belts are, but who knows. But I shall now put the mic over to another chief.
Wingapo. Hello, I am Frank Adams. I'm from Virginia, the chief of the Upper Mattaponi tribe. And I feel your struggles because the Virginia tribes have gone through the same struggles. Our tribal center is about 40 miles from the Jamestown settlement. So we, like Lenape and all the tribes on the East Coast, we were the first contact Indians. And it was a struggle. They took our lands, they tried to push us west to get us out of the way, but we persevered, we're still here. And so 24 years ago now, six of the Virginia tribes started pursuing getting federally recognized. And it took us 20 years and several $1 million in lobbyist fees to get that wrong righted. But we did. We got federally recognized in January of 2018. So we are now in the process of building our village and helping our people. But I'm so happy to be here today. My first time to this park is because so many of our tribal citizens left Virginia because of the racial laws and the racial mistreatment of our native people and moved to Philadelphia. So our second biggest settlement of Upper Mattaponi citizens is based right here in the city of Philadelphia. And so it's like a second coming of home for me because I'm seeing cousins and stuff that some of them I see often and some of them I see every 3 or 4 years or when we have our powwow in May. So it's a good feeling, and I'm just so proud to be invited and to be a part of this celebration. Thank you.
And so, this was just a demonstration, a sample, to give you an idea of what we can do in terms of assisting you to understand and have the full story of what it means to be a human being born on this land. It's important that you know the full story, the feeling that you feel now, and you want to know more. And so, we brought these people here. Barton as well, would you like to say words? Yes, from the Lenape Nation, to tell you this history and give you that feeling of completeness.
Wanishi, everybody. That means thank you in my language, in Delaware language. I'm honored to hear to speak upon you and asking the Kishalamakan, the creator of all things, that I want him to bless the city of Philadelphia, so maybe the gun violence will stop. At least this, you're killing everybody. It's not a good thing. It's a good thing to go in and just to say hi to your friend or just to be together with, and be the way William Penn wanted it. He wanted it to be what it was supposed to be, brotherly love. Yes. That's what the city of brotherly love was all about. And I wish all the things that would come together so we could see it in good happiness of all the people here. This is the reason why we're here. We're still here. and I thank you for listening to me, because it's a shame that every day I see it on the news that there's a shooting every day. It's a terrible thing. It's a bad, it's just a shame. And I wish you all to have the blessings of what the Creator wanted you to be with, because it's a good thing. And I'm here to represent my nation and the Delaware Nation in Anadarko, Oklahoma. But I live here and I was born here. And my mom, she was the full-blooded of my family. She came here back in 1960. I mean, I was born in 1958 in Harrisburg, but anyway, that's what I wanted to say to you all. And I appreciate you coming out here, and we'll just have a good time today. Thank you very much. Wanish.
Thank you. And so, Councilman Squilla, will you please come forward? When you have building openings, when you have graduations, when you have funerals, invite the drum. Give these guys some jobs. Build these nations again. Please say a few words, please.
Thank you. And thank you so much. I want to say what an honor it is to be here today to celebrate part of what history was here, not only in the city of Philadelphia, but our great country. William Penn wanted to treat the Native Americans as equals, and the treaty was supposed to do that at that time. And sometimes, we forget history, and we shouldn't. We need to remember that. But we also need to listen. We need to listen to the people who were here, the Native Americans who were here at that time, and they passed the history along to their young ones. So their young ones understand the history and their culture and what it meant to be here at that time. We have a lot of work to do, and even the people who are of Native Americans sometimes don't always think and believe the same things. We all need to work together, because together our voices are stronger. We work together. We can disagree with each other, but understand that we stand up for each other, right? We have each other's back, and we were going to be there to never forget what happened in the past so that it will never be repeated. And that's the most important part. So thank you all for having me today. It's an honor to be here, and I really appreciate being here also with my state colleagues, Senator Seville, State Rep Hohenstein, and State Rep Isaacson. Thank you so much, and let's enjoy the celebration.
Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a representative from the Quakers. I'm sorry.
Thank you. I'm State Representative Joe Hohenstein, and as Councilmember Squilla also said, Senator Nikhil Saval is here, and State Rep Mary Isaacson is here. We're actually in Mary's district. My district starts just the other side of that building and goes up 6 miles along the Delaware River. And I, in addition to being an elected official and carrying William Penn's legacy as someone in the state or Commonwealth government of Pennsylvania, I am also a member of the Religious Society of Friends and carry Penn's legacy as a Quaker. And as I said earlier, the Quakers, for all they attempted to do the right thing in certain spaces, they still were colonizers. And we still struggle with the legacy that we have unfulfilled. A legacy that for us in our faith tradition is about peace. And I want to thank Mr. Barton for praying for our city and our gun violence issues here. Thank you. The idea that an oppressed people can still recognize how much their oppressors are suffering is that's a good thing. So, but peace is one of our core testimonies. Equality is another, and that is where really sadly we have failed, and that is something that I will continue to work for. And finally, the last thing that I want to mention, because it is so much of the connection to our river and our natural world, I also want to make sure that we are being good stewards to our environment and to our river. It's something that I know I share with my colleague. And just want to say thank you for having us here, and I will hand it off. Mary, you want to come up and say some words? Because Mary Isaacson. There you go.
And thank you for having us here to celebrate this with you. I made sure I had to rush out something because I did not want to miss the ceremonies here. And this is my district, and I serve in the Pennsylvania State House. And in Harrisburg, one of the panels above the speaker's rostrum is of this grand park. The Pennsylvania State House obviously existed before the United States, and the painting, the beautiful mural, is of William Penn with the Lenape tribe for all of the rest of the representatives in Harrisburg to sit and stare upon every single day when they're making laws. And you can be sure I like to remind people, especially when we have disagreements, that somehow we have to all come together, because we have to be in the society together and we have to live together. So I want to thank you for bringing all these people here for this celebration today. And thank you for having me.
Senator Isaacson, Representative Isaacson, you can get their phone numbers and call them for advice, right? Yeah, anytime. Senator Saval, please. You know, the important thing about being a good Indian is respecting your elders, your leaders.
Wanishi, thank you everyone. It's a great honor to be here. Thank you for having me. My name is Nikhil Saval. I represent the 1st Senatorial District, which is all of Center City, and we're in it, of course, right now. It goes up along the river into the river wards. But this is, and forgive me if I pronounce this incorrectly, Lenape Hoking. This is the original lands of the Lenape. I acknowledge that with every communication that we send out from our office, because we are here, but we are impermanent on this land, and the original stewards of this land, some representatives of whom are here, should always be acknowledged when we acknowledge what has happened to this land since the 17th century. That we have had, it has been a history of colonialism, of expropriation, of exploitation, and in remembering that history, that isn't simply to incapacitate us or to feel that we cannot act. That has been a history that has been experienced across the world and throughout the world. Indigenous peoples in South America, in my own home country of India, have been exploited, and not just by colonialists, but by newer peoples, by newer governments. And so all of that should bind us into a global compact, that in this moment here, in this very regional experience, as we commemorate an occasion that was experienced by very few people in some ways, but now is remembered by more and more. We should connect it to all the events that bind us across the globe as we confront global challenges. Representative Hohenstein mentioned it, the challenge of protecting our earth, of being stewards to the earth, of climate change, the global challenges of caring for one another during a terrible pandemic, of ensuring that all of us have what we need to live and thrive. So in remembering this, I'm just grateful to remember those connections and to make sure that we all fight for them in honor of what we're remembering here today. So thank you for having me. It's a real pleasure. Ishi, do you want to, can you say Wanishi?
Wanishi. Wanishi.
And Senator Saval, is there anything like this in India? A treaty like this, an agreement?
The into the land of India, and really it's the subcontinent of South Asia, because it's been divided, as many people know, into Pakistan and Bangladesh, but the subcontinent has experienced so many waves of migration, of invasion, and of course of colonialism, that there are ways that are marking so many different compacts and meetings and meetings of people, over the course of centuries. And some of them are genuine meetings and moments of peace. Some of them are moments of coercion, of exploitation, and I think all of them are meaningful and are worth commemorating. Even the kind of terrible history that we that in part we remember today as well. So, absolutely, thank you.
Thank you. You guys, I'm not from Philadelphia, and I got to tell you, I am deeply impressed. What an extraordinary city you live in. They don't do this for us in Maryland. Do they do this in Virginia? Everybody comes out. I'm just very, very impressed. And I want you all to know how special this moment was, and to take this and tell your friends and your neighbors what you've seen here today. And let's try to build this back up for the peace of our city, our state, and our nation. I just can't remember a moment like this living in New York and Boston and Richmond. I just can't remember a moment like this. It's very special. And so the Native American House Alliance thanks all of you, the politicians and the chiefs who have come here today to make this a sacred and special ceremony for all of you to remember. And be sure to get a program if you haven't, because it explains some of the history. And at this time, when we return to the dance arena, we'd like your assistance in honoring the first responders, because we want to show you how Native people do things. You saw the traditional dance, the intertribal dance, the specialty dances. We also do honor dances for people who have done great things. And each of you know that the first responders have been so vital and essential to us as we come out of this crisis. And so the Powwow Committee wanted you to have a chance to say thank you to the first responders of your city with a special honor dance that all of you can participate in. And so at this time, we'll return back to the dance arena and go under the direction of the great Mr. Yuri Ridgway. Oh, wait, one prayer.
And if people want to know what this land looked like, go up to the bulletin board and you'll see what Penn Treaty Park really looked like. It's in the bulletin board in the front of the park. There was a call for a prayer. Yes, you're supposed to.
Yuri.
First of all, I'd like to say is that, man, we've come a long ways from when I was a little kid coming out here protesting. So that we could stand up and be here today to do things like this. And I really give a lot of thanks to all of those that come before me that stood up to be proud of who they were, proud to be Native, and come up here and protest so that our land could be, we could be part of this land once again. Human being, thank you, Creator, for this beautiful day. Thank you for this day you've given to us. Thank you for our family. Thank you for our friends. Thank you for allowing us to be human beings to come back to this land that we call Lenape-Hoking, this land that we call where our ancestors or the blood of our people are buried, their memories, their thoughts, their actions. We come here today on this land where we made a treaty one time long ago. And we come here today, Kishlaming, to remind all those that are here that we have not forgotten that treaty. We have not forgotten those promises. And we're Kayla Wanishi truly thankful that we're able to speak our languages. We're able to participate in our cultures. We're able to breathe and live in this beautiful way. We're thankful for all those that are around us, for all those that come out here and share in this way, because they want to learn, they want to understand who we are as indigenous people, as the original people of this land. So we offer this, we shout down this tobacco to you, Kishlaming, so that we can be, be reminded that we come in a pitiful way. We come as a broken people, but we come with a good heart. So we offer this tobacco to you, Nishi. Okay.
Ho, Mitakbeo Yasin. We're all related. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how we do that. On to the next event. We are honoring our first responders. Please join us. Thank you, Yuri. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Go up here, make a left with crank to that, and then I can go straight up. Well, not really, right?
I was just asking if you got people's contact information. Oh, I gave them mine. And there's the stairs. Okay. There we go. All right.
I wouldn't say, hey, what's up? Asking me, well, you want to talk about it?
Well.
It's a good day, bro.
Here's Peter.
Peter Landeros.
Yeah.
Did he say he was coming?
Yeah. But he had to work. I don't know if he got off. Trying to get off work.
Well, you got the better one.
Yeah, that's true, huh? The one who shows up. Shoot, we always have a saying. The best design is the one that's finished.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
Chief Newman gonna be over.
Thank you so much.
For what?
For bringing Chief Gold
Oh,
and for
yeah, I
being
did.
here yourself.
Oh, thanks, girl.
It meant so much. It really meant a lot to me to see
Wait a
you.
minute.
Oh.
Yeah, he didn't
I smell marijuana.
drive, so I drove.
It's a good thing or bad thing.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
And you see what happened.
Huh?
You see what happened.
What?
You're the only one.
What do you mean?
None of the others showed up. Man or Coker.
Oh, wow.
So if you weren't here, it would have been a catastrophe.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I can have him here for you.
Oh gosh, I hope this is good for him. I
Oh.
really do. And
Thank
both of you.
Thank you. It seems like there's a. Are they going to be like performance or?
Yes, ma'am. We're gonna do an honor dance.
You know the lynches?
Yeah.
I was real close with them.
Yeah.
Are they here?
The young lady sitting there
Yeah, look
with the
like
hair.
her.
Yep.
Look like her.
She's a lynch. Or related to the lynches. Yeah.
Hey, so I just wanted to touch base. Dolores came over and was asking us about the booth fee.
Oh, yeah, you don't have one.
Yeah, and so I told her, I was like, well, Peter's my contact, and he said there wasn't a booth fee. So
Right.
I just
For nonprofits, yeah.
I just wanted to confirm that.
She can
'cause
be
she
a
was
much.
very
Yeah.
pushy. So.
She can be a bit much. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Chief, thanks a lot. This is great.
Oh, thank you.
Coffee?
Oh, yes.
You want some food too?
I got food.
Okay.
Yep. You didn't see it, did you? Ah, it was good.
Oh, yeah, well.
But thank you, Nisha. How? Okay. Honor song, first responders. Honor song. Oh. Okay, guys. 29.
You know, throughout the day, people have come to me and said they honor my energy, and I'm really grateful for that. Thank you. But I have to tell you that it comes to me from my grandfather, who was a very, very famous singer from the 1930s, Mr. Cab Calloway. He was the force behind all of this. And so, if I may have your attention, please. Next Saturday, we are doing this again at the 12th Annual University of Pennsylvania Powwow. Saturday, September 24th, from noon to 6. Please come out. And if you do, your MC will be none other than the great, legendary man who doesn't smell the bathroom, Gary Ridgway. He's the man. He's the man. Gary, I need you to do this one too, because my voice is like, it's on its last legs. Suck it down. Drink that coffee. Oh. Huh? Oh, but I need you to help them. Oh, call something. Okay, before we do the first responders, we're going to do a calling song. All our dancers, calling song. Red blanket. Thank you very much. That's a calling song. Call you guys back. If you have not yet, Many Hands Coffee over here under the green tent. Man, oh man. And it's free.
Free.
Wow.
Hi, you guys. I'm the head dancer.
Free coffee.
I'm going to help you guys out. You guys are so what else will I have you guys do? Go before us. So people will come up and honor you guys. They'll shake your hand. We're going to go one time around, one circle around. And then once we get back here, we're going to invite people to come out, shake your hands. Congratulate you guys, for helping us out. You guys are
City of Philadelphia, your attention please. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. This is your opportunity to say thank you to all first responders. We need your participation for this to work. Now, generally, when you have people who have sacrificed of themselves the way that these people have, the first responders, you say thank you, don't you? And is there any person here who has never benefited from the actions of a first responder? And if you have, this is your opportunity to say thank you. Because you know, a lot of times when a first responder arrives, we can't say thank you for whatever reason. They do their job and they go on to the next person. And they keep going like that. And it's very, very hard. And so, we appreciate our first responders and give them this honor song. And I want each of you to come up, acknowledge these people, and stand behind them as we do this song. Honor song. Honor, ladies and gentlemen. Honor. Take it away. After the first round, come out and shake hands. Stay together, stay together. Yep, there you go. Just walk. Beautiful. The first responders, the people who save lives, who give of themselves every day, who sacrifice at risk of life to protect you. That's right, give them a round of applause. The first responders of Philadelphia. Look at them, ladies and gentlemen. Look at them with pride, with gratitude, with thanksgiving. Your first responders. And if you are grateful, follow the lead of Tammy Riley. Shake their hand. And falling behind. All right, let's go. very much, head dancers, for making that happen. Ladies and gentlemen, you just got an experience of what it's like and how things are done in Indian country. You may continue to thank these first responders and shake their hands. And do you still have, the tobacco? Offer it to the drum. Honor the drum. They have come to honor the drum in the traditional way. The first responders honor the red blanket drum here in Philadelphia. History being made. Look at that. The traditional way. Offering tobacco. What an honor, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to say thank you to the first responders in a meaningful way from the heart. You always have a home here. Anytime you guys go throw a powwow, you're in Richmond. Yeah. Whenever you have a fireman's thing, invite the drum, do an honor song for them. Show everybody what your experience. Give these guys some work. Make them work? Yeah. I think they work hard enough. No. Nope. No. They want to get out. No. No. Please, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to hydrate. Hydrate yourselves, please. Please drink water. Red blanket. Now that we have honored the first responders, don't you think we should intertribal? Maybe, yeah. Get everybody up. Yeah, everybody up. Intertribal. We hope that you have experienced that true native spirit. And we apologize if anything was done incorrectly or anyone has any hard feelings about what they've seen today. That was not our intention. Please walk on the perimeter of the circle. Don't cut through the dance area, please. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. Say that again, Peter. All bicycles out of the arbor. Yeah, please keep bicycles out of the arbor, too. Respect the arbor just for now. Until we retreat the colors, then you can do your thing. Yuri, he can cut through this, but that's the only one. Don't let anyone. Intertribal, everybody dance, everybody dance. Shake it, y'all, shake it, shake it. Dance, 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 dance. Yeah, boy. Mr. Johnny Blackhawk. Johnny Blackhawk. Dr. Locklear, Dr. Ho, women's fancy, stand by, women's fancy. Thank you so much, dancers, thank you. Be sure to get some water, you guys.
Big said no. You guys sneak up? Oh, somebody asked me to We should more traditional ask for a duck and dive.
We've been asked to do a duck and dive after this one. The Women's Fancy Dance, if you have not gotten a program, you can read about this dance in the program. One of the most colorful and exciting dances there is. The women will remind you of butterflies. Butterflies, I'm telling you. Okay, we're waiting for one dancer, one dancer.
Sorry. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jesse Gould has asked for a two-step. This means that he's got his eye on someone. Gentlemen, hold your women close. Look out! And when he takes her from you, he's going to say that's payback for the land. Women's fancy. Here we go. Here we go. Corey Ridgway on the arena. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever seen anything so beautiful before? Give them a round of applause. The women's fancy show dancers. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Mardella Lowry. Mardella Lowry, stand by for storytelling. We asked for a duck and dive, I think first. I know she's anxious. All right. Men's traditional duck and dive. Men's traditional. Please report to the arena. Men's traditional. Yes. Up here.
Hello, everybody.
Yo.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mike Quinones. I'm from a local nonprofit organization called Reignite Philly. We're here to, our purpose is to serve the community. We help get low to no income people trade certification and welding. We also do other programs, but our main objective is to help people of the North Philly community, South Philly community, and surrounding areas to change their life, make career decisions in a better way. And I'm over here on a table with got my flyers with information. If anybody knows anybody who wants to make changes in their life, that's what we're here for. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank we ready for the duck and dive? Ladies and gentlemen, this dance calls back to the Battle of Bear Paw, which took place in Montana between the Nez Perce tribe and the U.S. cavalry. As the cavalry was firing the cannons, the warriors ran toward the cannon and tried to offer themselves as targets in order to protect the women and children. And that's why this dance is so important, so sacred. It tells the story of what it means to be a man. Duck and dive. Gentlemen, Marcella. Ladies and gentlemen, Philadelphia is very fortunate to be home to an internationally acclaimed storyteller. It is such an honor for me to introduce to you, from the Lumbee tribe, the legendary, as she will tell you legendary stories which means that 7 things in the story must be true. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Lumbee tribe, Mardella Lowry.
Mardella Sunshine. Thank you. Welcome everybody. This is a beautiful day. We thank the Creator, we thank God for the sun, the wind that blows, blows all that sadness, bad feeling out of your system, the sun brings in the water. This is one of the things I love doing out of all the articles that I do, and I love being out here. It's close to my mouth. Usually people can hear me without this mic, so my family tells me that. So I tell legends. There's tales, there's stories, and there's legends. Tales can be lies or it can be the truth. Stories can be read out of a book. Your teacher can tell you, your mother can tell you, your brother can tell you. But legends, I had to be taught. How was I taught to tell legends? Walking around with the elders. When other people my age were going out partying, I was with the elders. And I thank God that I took that time free. Because when I look back on my life, I've been walking that red road for a long time. And I love everybody, but some folks I don't like. And I will tell you I don't like you. But I will tell you I love you because I'm going to heaven when I die. Some people don't believe in heaven. I had a cousin tell me, you can't be tradition, go to church. You can't be tradition and talk about God. I said, I feel sorry for you. Because I'm going to leave you here when I go to heaven. So this particular legend I chose to tell today, I never know what I'm going to tell. I see somebody's face. And ever who this legend is for, they will know it. I'm going to talk to you about 4 things that we do, have, like, buy, make, or whatever. We make a dream catcher. You call it. That's the wrong name for it. We make a Mandela. That's the right name. We make a God's eye. That's the right name. And we make a medicine wheel. So those are 4 things I like to tell people. If you're going to buy them, know the meaning of them. You really should know the meaning of anything you buy. And you shouldn't be buying alcohol and pot. But if you do, that's okay. I still love you, but I don't like you. So if you have a dream catcher in your home, please don't hang it against the wall. You won't do nothing for it. It has to move. Especially if you have feathers that come from a bird. That has to be alive. It has to move. In the beginning, you had a home like my mother had, 4 rooms. Kitchen was hers. The sitting room was bad. The bedroom belonged to the kids. If you need that dream catcher, that dream catcher would turn your way. For the big kids, turn for mama, turn for daddy. So what we say, if you put it in the lodge, it would turn wherever you need to go. And it would be for you that night. So that dream catcher is called a dream hoop, not a dream catcher. Why do we change the name? You can't say dream hoop. You make one of those out of a vine, out of feathers from a bird, you need to gift it. You know what gifting is? You gift what you like this. Don't give me something that you don't want. Because I know you don't want it and I give it back. So this way, you know what a dream catcher is. A medicine wheel is for health. And I think I have one in my house for a long time. And I say I know I have it there because I'm 82. I used to say I'm 4 times past treatment. But I'm 82 years old and I'm proud to say it. And I take care of myself. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't fly. I love the best. I love the things. And I love to eat those things. So that medicine wheel. Now he called me with candy in my mouth. He said, pick it up. That's what it was. I've known this since he was born. But if you have that medicine wheel, just hang it away from the wall. And if it has this way, this way, this way. The other guy said this way.
Yeah, that's right.
We're going to buy him some mics. Let's buy some PR for this place, okay? Everybody put some money in the pot, and let's buy some good PR. So if you have that medicine wheel, take a look at it if you feel bad. If you have a headache, just look at it and think for about 5 minutes what it's doing for you. It will help you get rid of the headache. But you have to believe in it. Nothing works if you don't believe in it. Then you have the God's eye. God's eye is protection. It will protect you. Hang one near your door, hang one near your window, and it will help you to have the home for yourself and not for somebody else. And then the last one is what? A mandala. A mandala, when I make them, it takes me a long time because there's a lot of pieces to put together. And I like to have natural. I get my feathers from guineas. I get my feathers from birds. And I do all kinds of Mother Earth seed. I make necklaces of corn, squash seeds, watermelon seeds, you name it, I'm getting from Mother Earth. Why do I do that? Because Mother Earth gives us so much all the time. All the time we're taking things from Mother Earth. So you take that mandala and you hang it near anywhere you want to in the house. I promise you. You get down to your last dollar and another dollar come in. You never have to worry about being broke. This is a legend I like to tell because we're having a hard time now. The people, it's not the world, it's the people's having a hard time. We're having a hard time working. We're having a hard time being friends. We're having a hard time doing anything. And I don't know if you know it, but this man up here, my best MC until I heard him was Sammy White. This man is a good MC. I didn't miss a word he said. And I'm deaf in one ear and I only hear 47% in the other one. And I don't worry about that now because you got the mask off. I've been reading lips 11 years. I don't worry about it. And if I miss something, that means God said you don't need it. So those 4 things, you keep those in mind and you think about me when you see one. And if you don't have one, get someone to teach you to make it. My granddaughter's over there someplace and she was eaten by a dog. She has one arm. Her whole face was taken. She called me about a year later. She said, "My mom, I had a vision like you had to make a dream catcher. Several people tried to teach me how to make a dream catcher. I couldn't get it. I had spent about $80 in material. I could not get that dream catcher together. So one night I gathered up all that stuff. I was working with a group. I said, I'd take it to them. I'm not trying it no more. So I went to bed that night. I don't really ever go upstairs at 12 o'clock. And I slept and I woke up and I had that vision. How to make that dream catcher, which we call it dream hoop. So I grabbed that stuff, put it in the middle of bed, and I made 3 dream catchers in an hour. Now, you look at my dream catchers, they're different from everybody else's. She told me she had the same dream years later and asked me if I'd teach her to make a dream catcher. I said to her, I speak straight, with one arm, how are you going to make a dream catcher? So I met her in the park 2 years ago, worked with her for about 3 hours, and that was in September, from October to Christmas. She made dream catchers and made $1,400 selling her dream catchers with one arm. So I say God is good. The Creator's good. Life is good. People is good. Just sometimes I get a little bit ill, it is okay. But please, just think about yourself. And elders, if you don't have an elder in your life, get one. Because you're going to be left behind. If you don't learn something from an elder, when you get my age, you will not know about it. So I'm going to close with that, and we're going to buy you a mic some way. We're going to get some sound system, and I do have money. And I do it. They told me last year to go get oxygen. I said, no. What else can I do? The doctor said walk. So that's why I walk 2 miles about every other day. And I don't take no medication for it, and I'm not on oxygen. So you can beat that sickness if you want. I really have 4 major health problems, and I'm not taking any medicine. I'm depending on the Creator. God will help you if you believe in Him. So God bless every one of you, and keep coming back. By the way, I've had how many people say, are you doing this next year? Are you having this next year? That's what they're asking me over there. Are you having this next year? I'm telling you, it's good. I've been thousands and thousands of powwows. I've worked with over 300 tribes. I've been to every ceremony you can mention, but this is something different. I felt the Creator from the time I got here. Wow. So if you haven't felt Him, you better get on your knees and pray with Him. Amen. Because there's something wrong with you. Okay? God bless you. And thank you. And I want to
I'm just speechless. She took me out, y'all. I think she got my number. My goodness. Thank you so much, Martella. Travis, from the Indigenous Educational Nonprofit of Philadelphia.
Take a seat.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. First of all, I'd like to say thank you very much for allowing this situation and collective members of the community to come together and share in the history and in the culture and in their traditions of indigenous peoples from around the world. As he stated earlier, we're all indigenous from somewhere. With that said, as a Philadelphia resident, I would first like to acknowledge the Lenape and all of the various tribes and clans that are represented here today. But also would like to just say thank you to the Lenape chiefdom, chiefdom as a whole, as it was its own governmental body of structure of people. And of course we have Lenape in Delaware, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, some upstate New York. And all of those groups were a part of one system of one chiefdom. And so I would like to acknowledge the Lenape and their history and their chiefdom and the collective tribes and clans of the Lenape. I am Tavis Sanders of Indigenous Education, which is a nonprofit here in the city of Philadelphia that was established to educate the public of the omitted history of indigenous populations. And I would just like to share that coming up as indigenous principles, indigenous traditions, and the culture continues to rise, I would like to I'd like to acknowledge my mother first and foremost as the co-founder of our nonprofit, and would just like to share some of the opportunities and some of the things that we have coming up that y'all might be interested in engaging with us. And so of course we have Indigenous or Native American History Month coming up in November, so we definitely would like to acknowledge that and make sure everybody is aware of that, and make sure that you are maybe sharing some indigenous histories from the local region that you occupy with your children, with your family, maybe with your school district. I also would like to share that starting next month, every Saturday starting October, Indigenous Education will be having a television show that will be airing in the Philadelphia region on Comcast 66 and on Verizon 29. The show is called Discussions with Indigenous Education, and the first 2 months, which will be October and November, we're actually going to be sharing the history of the indigenous villages of the Philadelphia region at the time of colonial arrival. And so we'll be able to show, if you pay attention, it's coming on Saturdays at 11:30 on Comcast 66, Verizon 29, and we'll be showing Penn Treaty Park and some of the indigenous things that happen here. But we're also going to be sharing some of the other indigenous villages that were in what is now called Philadelphia proper. We're also going to showcase to you what happened to some of these areas and how some of these areas were repurposed. And so sometimes we're exploring or sharing or walking on lands that were actually very sacred spaces to indigenous populations. And so we hope that you have the opportunity to check that out and learn more about the Philadelphia region, the different clans that occupied the Philadelphia region, and then of course respecting the Lenape people in totality. Thank you very much. Again, my name is Tavis Sanders. The name of our nonprofit is Indigenous Education, and 11:30 Saturdays, channel 66 Comcast, channel 29 Verizon. Please check us out starting October. Thank you, and y'all have a great day.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Indigenous Rise!
Yeah! Beautiful.
Wow, wow, such valuable information. So, Philadelphia, you have classes, you have an outlet for your indigenous education? Are we getting ready for a two-step? I need an arena director. Yuri. Sorry. Okay. We just have a slight delay. Hold on. So. There was once a coyote named Wanderer. And Wanderer, as his name implies, liked to wander. And he came upon a farmer's field. And when the farmer saw him, he yelled, "Hey, get my gun! There's that darn coyote!" And Wanderer looked to his right, and he saw another coyote right next to him. And he says to him, "Hey, my name is Wanderer. I've been around here a long time. I've never seen you before." And the coyote says, "My name is Sleek." Wanderer says to Sleek, "You're a coyote just like me. You have the same nose, the same tail, the same color, the same eyes." Sleek said, "I may be like a coyote like you, but I'm not a coyote like you." And sure enough, the farmer came back with his gun. He said, "Look, there's the other coyote." So the two coyotes jumped back into the woods and hid. And Wanderer says to Sleek, "I'm telling you, you're a coyote, just like me." Sleek says, "All right, let's go in front of the farmer and see." Sure enough, Wanderer jumps out, and the farmer yells, "There's that darn coyote!" And then Sleek jumps out, and the farmer says, "And there's another one!" The two of them jump back into the woods. Wanderer says to Sleek, "See, you're a coyote, just like me." And Sleek says, "No, he called you a coyote, but he said I am another one." We call upon the earth, our home, with its beautiful depths and soaring heights, its vitality and abundance of life. And we ask that the earth teach us and show us the way. We call upon the mountains, the Cascades and Olympics, the high green valleys and meadows filled with wild flowers, the snow that never melts, the summit of intense silence. And we ask that they teach us and show us the way. We call upon the water that rims the earth, horizon to horizon, the water that flows in our rivers and streams, the water which falls on our gardens and fields. And we ask that the water will teach us and show us the way. We call upon the land which grows our food, the nurturing soil, the fertile fields, the abundant gardens and orchards. And we ask that the land will teach us and show us the way. We call upon the forest, the great trees reaching strongly to the sky, with the earth in their roots and the heavens in their branches. The fir, the pine, the cedar, the elm, and we ask them, the trees, to teach us and show us the way. We call upon the creatures of the fields and the forests and the seas, our brothers and sisters, the wolves, the bear, the otter, the salmon, the orca, and we ask that all the creatures of the earth will teach us and show us the way. We call upon all those who have lived on this earth, our ancestors and our friends who dreamed the best for future generations, and upon whose lives our lives are built. And with thanksgiving, we ask them to teach us and show us the way. And lastly, we call upon all that we hold most sacred, the presence and power of the great spirit of love and truth which flows through all the universe. And we ask that power to be with us and show us the way. Brothers and sisters, let us know peace, for as long as the moon shall rise, for as long as the rivers shall flow, for as long as the sun shall shine, for as long as the grass will grow, let us know peace. May all I say and all I think be in harmony with Thee, God within me, God beyond me, the maker of trees. Okay.
Hallelujah, Peter.
Oh! Thank you, Kola. Wanishi. Wanishi. Two-step. All the couples out there, this is your chance to show the community how much you care about the person who is sitting or standing right next to you. Two-step. Couple up and follow. Then women, dance, follow. Two-step. Yeah. Do it, Jess. Do it. You guys, this is some two-step dancing here, boy.